Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another Market Watch investments video for you guys tonight. I'm going to be showcasing my personal selections, and I hope you enjoy. Getting things started with Necroface. So one of my friends here actually in Syracuse told me about this. Pretty interesting stuff. Apparently this card it was going for like roughly around 30 bones. It's trickled down a little bit. People started putting a little bit more on the market. Apparently it was some form of a buyout, and you can see there's only 2 pages on the market. Definitely a lot more. There was a lot less, but you can see here some pretty ridiculous prices. We've always known that the original secrets, I don't remember the set, that the original secrets, Gladiator's Assault, I believe, for the original print secrets, those have always been very, very good value for unlimiteds and first editions alike. There was a common, and then of course there was this Crimson Crisis super rare promo out of the special edition. So there was, to my understanding, a lot of these on the market being a super rare promo, special edition promo. But we can see the cheapest one here going for a whopping 25 bones. Here's a 3-stack from Shadow Yu-Gi-Oh! And then for the first page, it bottoms up all the way to 90 bones. Again, only 2 pages on the market. So I know I have a couple of these somewhere. Unfortunately, I just moved from Texas to New York, and in between, I managed to misplace these. I'm pretty sure these were part of the stack that I left in Texas, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So really interesting stuff on Necroface. Next is going to be Deck Lockdown. So I was at Locals last week, and there was actually a player that played this against me, and this is a really old card from Light Destruction. Pretty sure that was the set that donned our first prints of Lightsworns. Really like Lightsworns a lot. But anyway, really cool stuff. So this is a 2-prong attack with this card. It stops players from searching from their deck to adding from deck to hand, and then also does not allow them to special summon from the deck. It's temporary. It only lasts 2 turns. Obviously, it's a continuous magic card, so pretty cool. Really cool artwork too. There was a holo reprint. I believe it was an ultra rare. I would definitely prefer this OG print, even though it is just a rare. Granted, Light Destruction is really old, and it is just the OG print. And again, I have a secret despise for the rarity of ultra rare, but really interesting tech card. I thought this is pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about this. I thought this was a really flashy tech card that they used, and again, a really old card that, you know, is relatively strong. I think it's really, really strong. Plus, love the artwork. Any kind of artwork that has cardboard on cardboard, I think looks fantastic. So really affordable, you know, just a rare here. So even first editions are like about, you know, a bone if you factor in shipping. There's 5+ pages, so not really a big deal, but interesting thoughts on that. Next is going to be the Secret Forces. So this was the set that donned us the original prints of Necros. Necros was a huge fan favorite deck archetype core. You know, they have all of them originally in their secret rares. Really great stuff. There's a lot of awesome hidden gems to this, and to get this set sealed, it's definitely very old in age now, and it's definitely hard to get boxes. I personally have several first edition sealed boxes. It's kind of just this, like Duelist Saga. They came out roughly around the same time, and these were the 2 particular sets that I really invested in very heavily when these products came out. And, you know, you got stuff like Super Manju, of course, the original Bryonic Secret, which, you know, a plethora of prices, with Bryonic being having the heaviest price tag there. But what I want to talk about more specifically, which I think is really great, is Soul Absorption. This is a really fun card. You can do a lot of tacky stuff with this. This is the only holo print as a super rare that we have in the TCG, which is, you know, it's like roughly around a bone. Also, Soul Release is in here as well as the only holo version that we have right here, which is really great, you know, in all its censored glory here, which is really cheap as well. There's also the Yosenju decor, which is actually a really fun decor. I think it's really undervalued. I think it's insanely cheap, and it's a really fun deck, and the mechanics are pretty cool. How you normal summon a whole bunch, pretty great stuff. So Secret Forces is just, it's got some pretty awesome hidden gems. You know, it's got super rare Decree. Now we have a lot of higher rarities than this and more expensive prints, but, you know, it's cool just to have a super Decree. And there's also, the last card I wanted to mention was going to be Vanity's Emptiness. Comes as a super in here as well, which we all know is on the ban list. It's hit to 0, and everyone wants either the OG commons, but more specifically probably the first edition secrets. That's personally the print that I invest in, as with many other players. But there is the second hollow foil print that we have here as a super rare. Now, granted, I know a lot of players don't like super rare, but it's technically better than a common. And again, I have a really big appreciation for super rares. I actually prefer super rares over ultra rares, like 100%. So that's definitely an alternative avenue for you guys, a lot more affordable. So really quickly, I wanted to kind of just briefly touch on Harpies. So Harpies is a really cool deck. I'll be honest, I've never personally constructed or piloted this deck. I don't really know much about how this deck works. It seems pretty simplistic enough, but of course, you know, with the OG prints, OCG prints being uncensored and ours being censored here in Japan, it's completely split a market in half, especially with the new Lost Art promotions unlocking some of the Harpy stuff. Not all of it, but definitely a good plethora we have here. Unfortunately, they're all reprinted in the disgusting rarity of ultra rare for the Lost Art promos, which is unfortunate, but it definitely brings an interesting spice to the market. So it's pretty cool that we got that blend from between the TCG and the OCG. But I've always really appreciated Harpies. I always thought they looked really cool. And of course, Harpies Feather Duster, you know, don the name from it. You got Harpies Chandler. They're just, I don't know, there's just something about this deck that I just really appreciate. I really, really like a lot. And I know that there is some pretty fanatic Harpy players out there. That is pretty cool. Really quickly, I did want to mention something. So there is a little story here that I have for you guys about Harpy Girl, about a censorship that was kind of slipped through the cracks and then changed in the older sets. And they also did it with Harpy Lady too. Actually, one of my friends pointed this out to me. I kind of forgot about this. So the original prints of Harpy Lady, the cleavage and the whole shirt was not, the original artwork here. You can actually says it. That's impressive. That's the first time I've seen them do original artwork. I wonder if they have that for Harpy Girl. But anyway, so this was uncensored. I would not discredit the Super Rare from Legendary Collection 4. Again, I have nothing but praise for this set. Legendary Collection 3 and 4 are my all-time favorite reprint sets. They have amazing cards and really high rarities, really great stuff. So I definitely think these Super First Edition are definitely well on their way to be bleed into the collector's value. You can already see the roughly around 3 bones starting price, but I would not neglect the First Edition original uncensored OG prints from Metal Raider, again, because they're just ancient and, you know, they have the whole history of being uncensored. And then, of course, you have Harpy Girl. These are the censored versions that they changed, but the original print from Rise of Destiny. Now, I'm a huge Advent collector of LOB through RDS stuff, and Harpy Girl, the original OG print, came from RDS as a common right here. You can see, and this is where, you know, it's actually her skin tone. It's not censored with the blue tights looking apparel. So really cool history on that. That slipped through the cracks for the first print run. Obviously, they caught it in the TCG with the other reprints, and it was censored. But really cool history behind both Harpy Girl and Harpies Lady for you guys. So some extra stuff on the top for Harpies. Next is going to be Witch of the Black Rose. This is specifically the high rarity of the Ultimate Rare, the highest rarity that we have here in the TCG, dawning from Absolute Power Force, getting very up there in age now. I've always really appreciated the artwork in this. Again, it's just an old school Ultimate that looks great. Anything that has purple in it that's Ultimate looks pretty cool. And again, it's a Dark Level 4 spellcaster. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was used a long time ago in the era with the Mystic Piper and the level 1s, and it's pretty interesting stuff. Really cool, colorful deck, fun time in Yu-Gi-Oh! But the artwork is just really cool. I've always just really appreciated the artwork of this card a lot, and granted, just being an old school Ultimate Rare, it's going to hold great value, and it's being dried up relatively. It's being dried up on the market. You can see there's only one page available here on TCGP. The first edition lightly played unlimiteds alone are 20 bones starting market price, and then for a near mint, it goes up to almost 30, and then for first edition, starting market price is 41 bones, and there's a 2-stack from Tsubaki. So definitely running dry in the market for that. Next is going to be DD Crow. So I feel like this is kind of a hand trap that a lot of players are either neglecting or kind of forgetting about. It's not the strongest hand trap in today's meta by any means, but it's still really, really good, and I really like this. Again, it's just another one of those awesome level 1 hand traps, and there's a lot of amazing rarities that we have of this card. Obviously, for the big Advent collectors, there's the Starlight Rare, which is like ungodly expensive. I personally don't invest in Starlight Rares. player preference. I think they're just too expensive for what they are. Granted, they merit because of the ratios that they're printed in, but I just don't think they look good. Like, they almost look kind of fake. Like, it almost looks like there's like a sticker on this. I don't know. I just don't think they look that good. But again, it's just player preference. My personal favorite would be the Ultimate Rares, of course. Striking Neos, OG Prints, Ultimates. They're like ungodly expensive. Really, really nice. For the cost, though, I would definitely say the Dual Terminal 5 DT Commons. I love Dual Terminal and Duelist Saga. I got a big whole story about both of those, about how, Konami's not reprinting them or hasn't pushed any communications about reprinting Dual Terminal, and still to its own merit alone, Duelist Saga stands the single set in the TCG to have that particular, like, Star Wars lightsaber beam looking rarity, which is really, really cool. So, very unique. And, this is roughly around 3-ish, 4. Now, you guys have to go in. I'm just trying to do a quick flash price review on these. But for the price point, I really love Dual Terminal a lot. So, for what it's valued at, this would probably be my number one. Obviously, if you want to go, drop some pretty fat stacks, the Ultimate Rare is going to be king. But I would definitely not forget about the Super Rares. There's actually 2 different Super Rares. Dawning from Legendary Collection 2 and Raw Yellow Mega Pack. So these ran very similar to Legendary Collection 3 and 4, where a lot of the cards were reprinted in the same rarity, kind of double up for players to get those in those prints. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I wouldn't really care much of any of the other versions. Next is going to be Droll and Lockbird. So I really, really like this card a lot, and I totally forgot about this first effect where your opponent actually has to search a card or add a card first. I think this really waters down this card a lot. It's still very, very good. I still love the artwork. I love how it's a hand trap. It's a level 1. It's got a lot of amazing prints. This is my personal favorite print, the OTS Tournament Pack 1 Super Rares, which I think is a phenomenal price point. I mean, anything under 10 bones for this I think is a steal, because this card is always just circulating in and out of the meta. And, this is sitting at between 7, 8, and it's pretty much roughly around 8, 9. It's roughly around 9, so it's around 9-ish bones, pretty much all across the board. 3 pages available. This really, I really kind of forgot about this, or really wasn't paying attention to this first part where they +1 before the effect activates to stop to lock down the turn for searching. Of late, I've been messing around a lot with anti-meta, kind of going back to my roots and building up different anti-meta builds, and I've actually personally opted to side 3 Mistake. I think Mistake it's easier, and it completely just shuts it down from start. You just flip it over that floodgate and just completely denies your opponent. So, at least as of right now, I definitely would much rather side 3 Mistakes. But there's still a very good card. There is some really great rarities. Of course, we have the Ultimate Rare, which is, a collector's dream, which is holding a relatively fat price tag. I think it's like about 90 bones the last time I checked. We have the Ultra reprints, and then, of course, we have the original rares, which are roughly around the same price as the Super Rare. They're like 6, 7 bones. I don't know why this is taking so long, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on here because I don't want to wait for that page to load, but definitely would take a look at the Super Rares and the OG First Edition Rares. Next is going to be Effect Failure, so kind of same treatment as DD Crow. We have the Starlight Rare here. It's an ungodly price point for those people who enjoy Starlight Rare. To each their own. Again, the OG Ultimate Rares Dawning from Duelist Revolution. This was a legendary set. There's amazing cards. Like, we got this, we got Warning, we got Pot of Duality. A lot of really awesome, old school, amazing stuff from this. So this is ideally for collectors and just looking aesthetically amazing. This would definitely be my number 1. Of course, we have the just as equally original Ultra Rare prints, which are, pretty great. For some reason, these ungodly, just completely distasteful looking platinum and gold rares are worth more than, apparently, at least from face value, more than the infamous, legendary, very unique, one-of-a-kind Duelist Saga Ultra Rares, which are ranging between, 4 or 5 But more importantly, these super rares, the Order of Chaos Special Edition super rare promos, these are my all-time favorite prints for affordability wise. I personally love my hand traps in super rare. You don't really see me playing a lot of high rarity stuff. I love high rarity. I like collecting and I like, having high rarity of stuff, but I really don't like playing with high rarity because I believe it devalues it. And, things become lightly played, and you don't know if your opponent gets hungry and he decides to chew on some of your cardboard for a snack. Like, you never know what kind of crazy shenanigans are going to happen at your locals or whatever echelon of game that you're playing. So it's completely player preference, all up to you guys. That's just White Mexican Theory for you guys. So definitely check out the super rares. I mean, they're really cheap. They're like roughly between 2 and 3. Of course, you got the Duelist Sagas, Ultimates, and Ultra Rares original. First editions exclusively. You definitely do first editions on those. So really great prints for Effect Veiler. And a lot of people forget about this, but Effect Veiler is also a tuner, and it's really great. Obviously, that's a light. It goes into Chaos Engines, so that's really cool stuff too. Kind of a side note. Puppet Plant is going to be next. So this is a little bit of a lesser known hand trap, more specifically because it's a little bit more situational, as it has to be to deal with warrior spellcasters. Now, granted, warrior and spellcaster types, there's a lot of really infamous big decks out there that are based off warrior and spellcaster. And there's, I think, 2 or 3 prints of this. There's the original commons. I want to say, I think there was a Speed Duel common, and then there's this version, which is the highest rarity that we have in the TCG as a rare coming out of Turbo Pack 5. So really special because not only, it may just be a rare, but it is a Turbo Pack rare, and Turbo Pack Booster 5 is very old now, so it kind of brings value to it by itself. And it's about $1, roughly. It's about a bone if you factor in shipping. And here's an 8 stack right here. There's about 3 pages. There's plenty to go around. And there's just something about this card. I have several of these. I want to say I think I have 18, at least about 18 or 9 of these. Just because there's some pretty cool things that you can do with it. It's kind of like a pseudo Change of Heart in a way, or Snatch Steal, if you want to say it that way. There's things that you can combo it off of. You can augment the games, kind of like, like Zombies in Zombie World, you can do that. But more specifically for Puppet Plant, you can use DNA Surgery. And obviously this is kind of a long, drawn out, very situational, but who knows when, what player is going to create what combos in this game. This is a really cool card too, because you can basically, declare whatever you want. But I think this is really cool. Like this and Surgery and Transplant is the one for attributes, which is really cool. It just completely changed the game state of the duel, which is really cool. Obviously, this is expensive because this is the purple Duelist promo version. If we just search in the other ones, I want to say Pharaoh's Servant was the original OG print as a common. Again, both this and Transplant are insanely old OG commons. So they're really affordable. Again, this is taking forever, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on. But DNA Transplant and DNA Surgery were what I wanted to showcase specifically for that part of the video. Next is going to be There Can Only Be One. So as I said before, I've been messing around a lot with anti-meta, and I played this at 3 at my last locals, and it put in a lot of work. I really, really was happy I decided to main a playset of this. This always came out pretty much every turn, and it did some pretty devastating things. This is the original print, Super Rares from Extreme Force. I believe there's 2 other versions, one being an Ultra Rare, but who wants an Ultra Rare when you can have an OG First Edition Super Rare? This card is super cheap. It's roughly around a bone if you factor in shipping, and there's plenty to go around, 5+ pages. So this is just a really, really awesome floodgate, and I'm loving it right now. Upstart Goblin is next. This is specifically the super rare reprints from Secret Slayers. There is, of course, the Ultra Rares, I believe either from Legendary, I think it was Legendary Collection 3, Yugi's World or Joey's World. Legendary Collection 3 or 4 donned an Ultra Rare print, which is really cool. And then, of course, there was a Turbo Pack, the original Super. And, of course, we have the Magic Ruler original prints, which are pretty cool. But there's something about this card, and it's more so kind of history trendings when they did when this card was completely lifted off the list, when it wasn't hit at all. There was no restrictions. You could play 3, and the whole mentality of playing a 37 card deck when you play a playset of this is really great. Obviously, right now this is hit to 1, but I can't get over that. That was such an ingenious mindset, and it's so crazy how, like, back in the day, in like Gen 1 Yu-Gi-Oh, when players would, giving your opponent 1,000 life points was unthought of. Like, you would never, like, drawing 1 would never be worth that. And it's like nowadays in current gen, like, drawing 1 to give them 1k life points is just like unparalleled. Like, I really don't see why much of any deck doesn't run at least one of these. I mean, running a 39 card deck is just that's really valuable in my personal opinion. And I think eventually this is going to be lifted to 2 and maybe even 3. But just the sheer fact that this is such an amazing generic draw card, I'm really surprised at the price points of this. And it's around 2 bones roughly. Here's a 32 stack, and then it jumps to pretty much around 3 after that. And that's kind of much what it's been gauging at. 2-3 is what it's been pretty much staying at ever since it came out. Again, Secret Slayers is relatively new set. It came out last year, I believe in the summer of last year, so very, very still fresh on the market. But I really think that every player should at least have like 9 of these first edition, because this is just such, I'm telling you guys, this is a really good, it's a long haul investment, but it's definitely going to be worth it. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys something, and I've done this in the last 2 videos, and I apologize for those who have seen this. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I think this is an extremely rare tool, and because I don't know which viewers are coming in and old and new, and I don't know who's watching my stuff and what video they're starting on, I'm just going to go ahead and showcase this another time for you guys, because it goes into the next part of the video, which is going to be really key. So I'm on the main Konami website here, Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami website, and I'm going to show you guys how to convert the US website to the Japanese OCG website and basically break into their database so you can get all the OCG information, which is really valuable for all those like me who love to collect in very specific certain things in the OCG market. So main page here, we're going to go to the gameplay and then database. And it actually just switched over automatically, so that's unfortunate. So this is how you do it. Basically, you can toggle between regions and language here on top. I'm just going to go ahead and restart here, because that wasn't supposed to happen. That was a misplay. That was a live misplay that you all just witnessed. All right, so gameplay, database, and then you're going to go and search for the card. Today I'm going to be doing the legendary, infamous, of course, Dark Magician Girl. It's right there in the history. Pop the name in the search bar, hit search. And then this is the part you actually have to click on the card. It'll pop up in a new window. You can just close out the original window. And then this is when you can go up when you're actually in a specific card after the search and clicked on the picture. This is when you can toggle up to the top. This is the kanji for the Japanese language, Nihongo, and you can click that, and then it'll transfer everything over to the OCG database, and it will give you, obviously, the uncensored original artwork from Japan, and you can toggle between all the different artworks here on the bottom, which is pretty cool. And it'll give you all the rarities, the dates they were printed, and all the different sets that the card was produced in Japan in the OCG. So what I want to talk about, if you guys didn't know, there's 2 ghost rare prints of Dark Magician Girl in the OCG. It's called HR for holographic rare in Japan. I lived in Japan for 2 years, so a bit back, and it's actually called holographic rare. That's why this HR is here. There's 2 different prints, and the first print right here was actually printed on 13 August of 2017, so about 4 years back. It was a Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2017 pack box prize, and it was actually the OG artwork. It's this artwork here in Ghost Rare, and it just looks gorgeous. Of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star, just looking great. And then, of course, being uncensored, you have the bust here on the chest, the black magic star here in last year, Duelist Pack 23, on 9 November 2019, it was printed again, Ghost again, but this time it was in this artwork. And obviously, this one being a lot older, and probably because it's the original artwork, and because of age, again, like I said, it's insanely expensive. I use eBay for my platform for OCG stuff. I couldn't even find a copy of this personally on eBay. There was one website I checked, like Amazon, Troll and Toad, eBay. There's a couple different sites I found. I found one that had one of these, and I don't remember. I think I want to say it was around $1,500 for this personal version of the Ghost Rare. There is several more of these on eBay, which I'm going to show you guys, which was the second Ghost reprint. And I'm here on eBay. I'm looking at shipping lowest to highest, and I found that pretty much all across the board, it's around $230. For the majority of the first couple listings, it's roughly around pretty much just $230 across the board. This card looks gorgeous again. So here's kind of where I'm at in this investment, and there's the whole decision of which you want to go for. Do you want to go for the older, more expensive, in my opinion, better artwork of Dark Magician Girl, being the original artwork from 2017, if you can find it? I mean, I had a hard time finding. I found one copy on one site a couple days ago. Now, there's kind of your decision for that, or the second Ghost Rare that was printed last year, which is a lot more affordable. I mean, a lot more affordable, at roughly around $230, depending on how you can wheel and deal with these guys on eBay, if they have best offer and all that. Now, I would not disregard this. They are both gorgeous. I'm just going to go and get a close-up of this really quick, because this is just, I'm so excited about this. I really love doing these little OCG stents at the end of my videos, because I'm all about blending. I love blending stuff here at Market Watch Investments. So this is the card right here. This is the more affordable, newer one with the newer artwork, and it looks amazing. So there's that, and it's around $230. Again, there is several different listings. I think there's like about 5 or 7 of these. The first cheapest listings, roughly around near mint from what I read, $230 pretty much all across the board. Again, if you guys can find the original Ghost Rare from 2017, I mean, good on you. I think that's pretty cool. I'm sorry, right here. It's also going to carry a lot heavier price tag. So personally, I'm looking towards more investing in this one. Right now, I don't have much wiggle room towards investing in new stuff, but as far as OCG stuff, this is not going to stay at this price point. I really think this one has 6 already. This is the last one. There's already 6 sold. Plenty of people watching these. I'm watching these personally myself, so I mean, I'm real with you guys. What I'm watching, I put on these videos, I share with you guys. This is my number one OCG investment right now, is Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl. So what I was going to say, and really quickly, this is a conversation between me and one of my Japanese friends. She lives over in Japan, and one of my great friends, Ayaka-sama, she's awesome. She's amazing. So I hit her up, and we were having this conversation. I got this idea to invest into Ghost Dark Magician Girl and OCG, and she actually went to the store, and she took some pictures of a couple that she found. So this is a particular store, by her house that she went to. They had 2 copies. They look probably roughly around almost near mint. And you can see here it's in yen. Basically, the currency exchange is, you can basically just drop 2 zeros. That's like the quick rule. You do it, you drop 2 zeros, and that pretty much converts it. So these are roughly around 250 bones. I actually did the conversion here, and I can show you some more pictures. So this was really awesome. I was really happy that she hooked me up and actually went specifically to the store to give me a price quote on these, and to see even if she had some in the store by her house. So these are selling for roughly around $240. So in Japan right now, at this particular store, they're selling for about $240 bones, US bones, that is. And on eBay, they're actually a little bit more cheaper. You can save yourself around 10, 13 bones. They're actually going for $230 for the first couple listings on eBay. So it's completely up to you guys. This is actually what the 2017 version looks like, the first Ghost Dark Magician Girl in the OCG. Really, really amazing. Really expensive, but really, really amazing. So if you're into high-end stuff, I would definitely try to chase after this if you guys can find it. The last thing I want to mention, so this new product that's coming out, Ghosts of the Past, it's rumored that Dark Magician Girl will be potentially one of the Ghost Rare slots for this set. Now, with that being said, my personal opinion is this is the decision. Do we wait until this set drops? Potentially, we don't know. I mean, kind of rolling the dice, hoping that Dark Magician Girl is printed in English in the TCG in Ghosts of the Past, in hopes that this $230 OCG Ghost Dark Magician Girl decreases in value with the announcement of Dark Magician Girl coming out in English. Is that even a factor? Will an English Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl even drop the price values of either of the Ghost Rare Japanese versions? I personally would say yes. I'm personally banking on waiting until Ghosts from the Past drops, and hopefully we get Dark Magician Girl in English in the TCG, and it drops the Japanese versions. Now, that does not mean that I'm going to be investing in the English Dark Magician Girl ghosts if they happen to be dropped in this set as Ghost Rares. Reason being, I don't see Konami, if they happen to reprint or produce Ghost Dark Magician Girl in this set for us here in English in the TCG, I don't think it's going to be uncensored. I think it's going to be the full-on American, crappy, censored version. They're just going to use the whole Lost Art promo ploy to make money off the whole original uncensored artwork. With that being said, I would much rather have an OCG Japanese uncensored version of Ghost Dark Magician Girl. So that's all I'm going to say about that. That's kind of my ploy for this specific investment. At first, the last couple of days, I've been really thinking about, okay, it's only $230. I think this is a really good time to pull the trigger and pick up several copies of these, because I definitely know that they're going to go up. But I thought about it for a while, and realizing that we have this new set coming out, I believe it comes out next month in February or March or something. Really banking on Dark Magician Girl getting printed as a ghost, and then kind of knocking down the Japanese ghost ones down just a little bit, but still having them hold great value, because these are the original uncensored artwork as the Japanese artist intended in all its amazing beauty. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. There's going to be a link below to my Facebook. I would love if each and every one of you guys add me, message me, whatever it may be. I would love to talk to each and every one of you guys about anything Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been part of my life for almost 2 decades. I love the friendship, the trading, the investments. There's so many amazing things that I believe that this game can bring into anyone who really just invests into it. A lot of positive energy, a lot of great things. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.